Hello, hello. We are back with Launch Coach Football. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea, and I've returned.
Yes, her stint on the IR is finito. She's back. She's back on the saddle. And that being said,
Yep.
I would like to thank again my brother Matthew for pulling a real Nick Foles and stepping in the past few weeks. He and I know he definitely wants to be on this episode because he's a Giants fan, but you
Don't
know,
worry, bro. I'll talk about your Giants.
but like he did a good job, but he didn't do good enough to win the starting role. Maybe in the off season he'll sign with another podcast or we'll trade him.
He's a quality backup and a quality contributor. If he ever wants to come back on again, he's more than welcome. We should add him to we have a launch coach chat. We should add him. He'd probably be all about that.
Uh, well, until that happens, this is a special episode and a big episode. This is officially Launch Code's 100. We made it to the century mark, people.
Whoop whoop. Honestly, never thought I'd make it this far. I told Daniel that earlier, and he was like, yeah, me either. Never thought I'd get this far. He's been
Yeah,
on here like 12 episodes.
we've done an equal amount of
You're like, we both worked equally as hard on this. Don't tell anyone otherwise. No, just kidding.
yeah.
Daniel's been a great addition to the pod. We're really happy to have him.
No, it's been, and honestly, for both our teams, I'm happy this is a season we make to 100 because both our teams are doing well this season. For the most part, I'm not gonna say it's been surprising, but it's been very just,
It's been surprising for me.
I
I
guess,
had low expectations.
oh yeah, for your coach. I guess in terms of up and down, but we don't know what team's gonna be good. There's no clear number one, and I'm happy about that. But we can
That's
talk
true.
about that more with both our recap and our look of week six and our look ahead to week seven. We're gonna do a bit of a bridge episode this week because it's been kind of hectic on both our parts, but we make it work. We are improvisers, people.
That's right.
So off to going to our first point this week, and I just have to say. Sanford, I'm sorry. I feel like I cursed you when I made you into the indefinite MC West champions in our preseason preview. And I said they have the easiest schedule in the world, and I recall exactly saying they're not going to have an injury-laden season like last year, and I was correct. They're going to have somehow a worse injury-related season than last year because that Fred Warner injury both made me vomit in my
Devastating.
mouth. It both made me vomit in my mouth, and also to me spelled the death nail to whatever chances you got this at this point. Your team is just Christian McCaffrey, and
And
Lord knows
Purdy
how
when he
long.
comes back. And Pearsall when he comes back. That's literally all they have.
And it's so devastating because I do think they are a they have proven they can fight back from any injury. They've proven they a healthy 49ers team to me is a serious contender in the NFC conference. But at this point, it's just he's your second best player after outside McCaffrey. Easily your first best player on defense. He's one of the best players in defense in the general NFL. And I don't know if they will go win that game against Tampa because, which is also another point. Baker's to me is a surefire at the moment MVP winner as of week six. He's I guess the first third of the season because it's an 18-week season. He's the one third MVP because he looks amazing. And I just hate to see one team go down, but at the same time, you're just looking Tampa and the Buccaneers thinking this is not only the MVP, but Tampa right now with their 5-1 record. This is probably at this moment is a favorite to be the number one seed in the NFC.
Yeah, no, I agree. A couple of thoughts on San Fran. I saw someone say on Instagram that San Francisco sacrificed all of their players to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy. Um, can't say I agree with the exact way that they explained that, but I understand what they're saying. Miraculously, he stayed healthy the one year I draft Brian Robinson, thinking that he'll actually have a chance. McCaffrey stays healthy the whole year, so that's on me, honestly. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I know. Truly, truly devastating for Fred Warner. I mean, and he got hurt late enough into the year that he's probably not going to even get back next year until halfway through the season, which is really devastating, especially for
Yeah.
that defense. But if there is any team that can overcome injuries, it's this team. I mean, Shanahan has proved it time and time again. Yeah, they might not perform the best that they could if they had all of their pieces in place. But if there's any coach that can outcoach these guys, I mean, look what he did with Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones was toast basically, and he came into the Shanahan offense and looked amazing, which, begs the argument of what is Brock Purdy, but we'll save that for another time.
It also makes the
Um,
argument that like they should have drafted. He wanted Mac Jones originally, but they convinced him to get Trey Lance. And
yeah. I
yep,
must also add on the best player on the 49ers is not hurt. His name is Kyle Juszczyk, and he is unarguably the greatest fullback in the NFL right now. So I guess Kyle Juszczyk is just going to have to take Christian McCaffrey on his shoulders and start running the ball because he's about the one of the last players they have left on offense. It really is a shame for San Fran. And I remember when you picked San Fran to win the division, and I was like, "You sure about that?"
and I was
Because they
so
always
right
get
early
hurt,
on.
and you were like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." I was like, "Okay,"
I was
and
so correct. I was so
yeah,
right early on, and then
you were. And
everything
then
went
they just
wrong.
started falling like flies. It was terrible.
Um,
I really feel for, I have a friend I did, shout out Aaron if you're listening to the pod, that I did an internship with. And he's a big San Francisco 49ers fan. And I'm sure he's just like dying, slowly by a thousand cuts.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough time to be a 49ers fan right now. And I really don't think that division is impossible to win, which I think is the most frustrating part if you're a San Francisco fan. I think your biggest competition is probably the Rams. I think the Cardinals are probably toast, and the Seahawks will put up a fight, but they probably won't win. So, I mean, your biggest competition is probably the Rams with a 40-year-old quarterback almost.
And
So,
you beat them already this year. So
yeah, so it's definitely discouraging if you're a 49ers fan. But I mean, you have one of the best front offices in football, and you have one of the best head coaches in football. So if there's any team that could make diamonds out of the rough, it's this team. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. I'm sure they're going to get Purdy and Pearsall back eventually. Jawan Jennings is going to come back eventually. So they should be getting some pieces back on offense. They're just going to have to outscore people if they
they,
want to win games.
I don't even know when Ayuk is coming back. He's still recovering from the ACL from the year prior. But
Yeah, my husband has Ayuk in his IR slot in fantasy, and he checks his little update ticker, when you click on the player. And the latest update was like, still no confirmation for when he'll be returning. And he's like, all right, this is great.
well, I'll say this. And I know as a Colts fan, you want to give Steichen the coach of the year, but if Shanahan could somehow take this team into the playoffs, I'm giving him coach of the year.
Oh, no, I agree. And I mean, in regards to Baker, I mean, what a crazy game. Bro didn't have Godwin, he didn't have Evans, and he lost Egbuka during that game. And he's down a starting running back as well. So he's down our four arguably stars on offense, and he still scored what, 30 something and won the game. Uh, the Tez guy who used to play at Carolina, I think his name is like Tez Johnson or whatever. Guess who added him in fantasy? Me, because the only receiver who's going to be playing this week that's relevant is Mike Evans off a hamstring injury, and who knows, he might be on a snap count.
Well,
So go Tez. I'm your fan this week.
well, I
Go
say whoever
do things.
whoever
But no,
picked
I mean, Baker's got to be in the running for MVP. I mean, after the dud of the game that Josh Allen just had, I mean, it's got to be Baker, right? I mean, Lamar's been hurt. Patrick Mahomes hasn't been as good. Josh just lost to the Falcons. He's probably been the best of them all. And Joe Burrow's toe is hurt. So Baker really doesn't have much competition if you think about it.
well, he might have some competition with a guy from New York by the name of Dart. Probably not, but we're going to talk about the Giants anyway. Because
Offensive rookie of the year.
there we
He's
go.
playing at this rate, potentially.
Because Thursday night was, yeah, that
That
was
was that was crazy, dude.
that's you. We're going to talk about both those teams because what's going on with New York and what's going on in Philadelphia, and they are both two different kinds of what's going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was very confident in Scatterbo at the beginning of the year in fantasy. I drafted him. I had a good feeling. I watched him at Arizona State. I really liked him in college. And I like Tyrone Tracy too, played at Purdue. Good back, solid. But I really had a feeling about Scatterbo. And I held on to him on my bench until Tracy got hurt. And then I started starting Scatterbo. And yeah, safe to say he's locked down the starting job. I don't know how long his career is going to be. It might be 3 years based on how he runs through people's rib cages. I don't know. I hope he plays for a long time and doesn't stay concussed, as all the internet memes seem to indicate. But him and Dart, they're a lethal combo for the Giants. I mean, again, same thing with Dart. I watched Dart at Ole Miss. I really liked him. I mean, he wasn't super polished, even though he'd been to multiple programs. You could tell he still had some work, but he got drafted to the Giants, and I was like, okay, this is Brian Dable's guy. He finally gets a quarterback to develop. I was like, all right, I can see this working out. And he comes into the game with like the one streak down his eye and is like taking hits to the head. And I'm like, whoa, dude, calm down. All right. They like you. They don't like you that much. Just like slide. Don't be Andrew Luck,
That's
please.
still
Just
one.
slide.
That's still one of the funniest things about when he goes down, and as soon as Russ Wilson comes in and throws one pass that
I
hits the goal,
know. Dable
Dayball,
was like, hello.
Dayball's like, no, he's ready. I don't care. He's ready.
He's like, he's not concussed. Yeah, no, I mean, in regards to the Eagles, whew, I mean,
That
they,
wasn't a
they
good day
don't
for
they
Philly.
don't they
That
don't
was
have the excuses that the 49ers do, at least on offense. Now on defense, I know they have some injuries on defense, like Jalen Carter, for instance. But man, on offense, they don't have any excuse. They have probably the best running back in football, two wide receiver ones, a top two tight end in fantasy, and Goddard. Still not as good of an O line as it used to be, but still above average for sure. Probably top five still. Yeah, that was a rough look. I mean, the Giants have a good pass rush, but their secondary is really not that good. I mean,
yeah.
Jalen Hurts should have shreds and he missed AJ Brown on that crosser in the middle, for a touchdown and threw an interception. I watched that and I was like, you read Instagram pages and you read subreddits and things of that nature. And like for years, many Eagles fans, not all of them, but many Eagles fans have been like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is a top five quarterback. Then I watch a game like that and I'm like, how can you argue that?
It
Like
was
top 10 for sure, but top five, I can think of four right now that I would put above him.
it,
And two of them aren't even healthy right now. So
it was just terrible. It was he missed.
it
You
was
said
bad.
miss AJ. He missed Devontae on a deep pass. Like
He hit Goddard over and over though. Goddard
no,
had
oh
like
no,
11 catches.
he can find Goddard. Apparently, Goddard is basically it's like that's peanut butter and jelly for him.
Safety net.
It doesn't. But you know what? You got two Pro Bowl receivers on the outside. And I feel, and I don't want to just put the blame on him because
No, it's not.
it's the
Yeah.
entire offense, it's the entire team at this point because Scadaboo and Dort was cutting them up like crazy. But a large part of it has to be hurt just because this is the best situation you could be in terms of your entire. You have the best surrounding offensive pieces for any top flight quarterback right now. And
Probably the best surrounding cast in football, if you ask my opinion on it.
it's just like it doesn't. First of all, Thursday night was not a good day for Philadelphia. I'm a Phillies fan, and that was a painful loss.
Yeah.
I was watching that in
Yeah.
Texas, and I just said, "Which turn on the football game?" And honestly, I was saying, the New York in me just say, "You know what? Phillies just annoy me so much. I want them to beat them down."
Dude, that was a rough day for Phillies fans, Eagles fans, even your hockey team lost. Not a great day for Cubs fans either. We lost in game 5, but
But you didn't
yeah,
lose
it
when they.
wasn't as bad as Phillies
No,
fans. You guys lost on an arrow to the pitcher.
yeah.
Poor Orion Kerkering. He probably wants to die. You're okay, buddy. It happens to the best of us.
It's everyone they plays on around him. It's just good teammates around him. I was also pointing on first base like JT Realmuto, but when you're in that pressure situation. No, back to the NFL. Yeah, this is I think me and Max were talking about this last week or 2 weeks ago when he was here. This is reminding me when Philly went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs. Next year, which was Kelsey's last year, Jason, they just fell off a cliff by like Thanksgiving, and they got destroyed by Tampa in the playoffs. And then yeah, after that, the next year after that, they won the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of I guess 2023 vibes in terms of just is this team okay? Because even the games that they won, the Dallas game came down to the wire, and the Rams game, they probably should have lost that game if it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
for two crazy block field goals, which
Agree.
I guess that's the special team stepping up, but You just got humiliated by the New York Giants with a rookie quarterback, a rookie running back, and a coach that up until 3, 4 weeks ago, we were posting, is he going to be the first coach fired? So
It's been
I
a
don't know.
rough look, dude. The Eagles look down bad right now.
It looks like I'm
You know when
happy.
AJ Brown starts reading his books on the sideline, which is going to happen soon if they keep up this rate, that they're down bad.
That's gonna be the big question. Who's gonna crash? Which NFC East receivers gonna crash out first? George Pickens or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown's already crashed out.
Okay, then there we go. We won the bet. But yeah,
Which is just crazy because I honestly think if Bro plays up to his potential, that he is probably a top 8 receiver in football. Do you know how excited I was the day the Titans decided to be stupid and trade him away? That was like the best day of my week when that happened. And I expected him to have so much success in Philly. And I mean, for the most part, he
yes.
has outside of this year. I just don't know what the deal is this year. Like, is Hurts hurt? Like, I don't. Why is Saquon getting the ball like 11 times in one game and not running it when he's probably the best back in football, arguably? I'm like, hello. If this were
But
a Madden game, I feel like I'd be calling better plays right now, which is not saying much because I lose most of my Madden games, but you get the point.
well, you can say the same thing about the Buffalo Bills at this point because no one expected the Falcons to beat the Bills pretty handily. That was probably the biggest shock this weekend, honestly. Even more because at least a Giants game, you can chalk it up to like division rivals. Who had Atlanta being Buffalo?
No one.
It was just
Dude, wasn't it? Was it? Did the Panthers shut out Atlanta or did Atlanta shut them out?
the
It
Panthers
was the
shut.
Panthers shut
Yeah,
them out.
yeah.
Okay, so the Panthers shut out Atlanta,
Then they fired the
and then
coordinator.
Atlanta beats the Bills by like 2.5 scores. Therefore, the Panthers are better than the Bills through the transitive theory. Don't doubt my math.
Transit property mic drop. Um, but yeah,
Dude, that was a rough showing though. That was, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Falcons,
are talented.
like, they have talent. I mean, they have pieces on offense and they have pieces on defense. I mean, they're definitely getting there as a franchise, but like Josh Allen just won the MVP. Josh Allen should be ripping that defense apart for like 45 points and he lost.
I
Crazy.
I'll say with the part with Atlanta, it's not a surprise that the two best players on the game was Bijan Robinson and Drake London. Drake
Yeah.
London is one of the more underrated receivers in my opinion in the league, and Bijan, the second you let him go, he's gonna go crazy. He's easily a top 3, top 5 running back in football. I'm happy Penix is looking. He's an look.
Serviceable.
I'm still holding on to my Penix stock. I still think he's gonna be a very good quarterback,
I
especially.
think he'll end up being all right. He's just, it's a learning curve.
Yeah. And no, they're keeping pace in the South right now. I think they're a game and a half or 2 games behind Tampa, but you always go to shoot for the wild card. The
Yeah.
question comes down to Buffalo though. Is this just a case like similar to like with the Ravens, once the Ravens lost Lamar, they just nosedive? Is the case just Buffalo is just Josh Allen and the Allenettes, I guess? Because
They
the
have a
second
good running game. I mean, James Cook is good. I wonder
but
about
Derrick
their
Henry's
receivers.
but Derrick Henry's good.
Um, yeah. I mean, I wonder about their receivers. I know that Diggs was, very dramatic when he was there, and everyone started doing better sequentially when he left. But let's be honest, Josh Allen doesn't really have a one.
No.
He has a bunch of mid to high twos and threes in his offense. He has good tight ends. I would argue he probably has the best two tight end set in football, with Knox, whatever the other guy's name is. Um,
Put some respect on Fire Move and Johnny Smith. No, I'm just joking.
Fryermuth, okay, John, but anyway, yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if this is showing anything, I feel like number one, it's showing either I don't know much about their depth and things of that nature, but either they are hurt on the O line or they need some O linemen because they looked really bad against the Falcons pass rush and they need to go out and they need to trade for a wide receiver one. I would suggest Tyreek, but alas, his leg almost fell off, so
Yes,
perhaps
alas,
not.
his leg is at 45-degree angle, so We go,
Yeah.
so it's not really
I don't even know who they could go out and trade for, to be honest with you. I don't even
AJ
know if it'd
Brown.
be this year. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the Eagles would so be willing to ship him, 3 hours, 4 hours down the road to probably their biggest rival in the AFC. They'd have to give up the house for that. But I feel like they have O-line issues and they definitely have receiver issues because Keon Coleman was supposed to be the guy. And not that he's been bad, but like he's not been what they thought he was going to be,
No, he's
in
not.
my opinion.
He's again, you're right. They don't have a number one. He's a decent number two receiver, and it kind of reminds me of a bit about the Chiefs, but maybe it's just Mahomes is special. But yeah, my hope. I think last a few weeks ago I said the Chiefs are done, and I was partly I should have said Baltimore instead of Chiefs or something because I said that, and then they start getting really good, and the rest of the division started to get really bad.
I
So
do think the Chargers will still fight them for the division. I think the Chargers have a good team.
no, the Chargers have a good team and they will fight them, but I'm just scared. But the Chargers at this point, I think injuries, same thing with San Francisco. That
They have it, they're capped.
yeah,
They're only gonna perform so well.
I can't see them like they. It's gonna be interesting seeing the Chargers the rest of the season. First, I want to see what happens when Hampton comes back because
Hmm.
their running game was still decent last week. It was still solid,
Yeah.
but he's not the number one back. Um,
I'll tell you who surprised me. Man, the Broncos fell off a cliff, dude. I mean, Sutton's been good, but Nix must be having some kind of sophomore slump this year. And their defense, I know generally speaking, they're still ranked high, but man, they've had weeks where they've just looked bad.
but they
Even Patrick Surtain has looked bad. The Colts kept targeting him over and over and over when we played them. I was like, what are we doing?
I was saying at
Why are we doing that? Let's stop. And it kept working. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess we can keep doing this.
I guess we keep going, but well, in their defense, they just held Justin Fields to negative 10 yards, but it's also Jets and Justin Fields.
That's true. Yeah,
Um,
that's not really saying all that much.
but yeah, I don't, it's gonna be interesting because right now, this was the best Mahomes looked this year. They beat down the Lions pretty handily.
And the Lions are a good team.
They got him to a point that the Lions were fighting them after the game.
Yeah.
I do question Detroit because this is their second really bad loss against a good team because they lost week one. They got destroyed week one against the Packers. But more than anything, they're getting Rice back now. He and that receiving core already was looking a lot better when they got Worthy back.
Hmm.
Kelsey is honestly having I'm not gonna say like
He's coming back a bit.
he's not Kelsey of old, but he's Kelsey at least 2 years ago, which is still a solid tight end.
Yeah. I
So
mean, when we were discussing KC, I think I was like, yeah, they look bad, but I mean, they're gonna get some guys back. If they still look bad when they get some guys back, let's see. But I mean, they're gonna get Rashi Rice back soon. I mean, they're gonna be at full strength pretty much, almost.
and then right back
Or
maybe
whichever
two.
receiver was suspended. I think it's Rashi
Yes,
Rice,
yes,
right?
Rice.
Is he
Rice was
back
cement.
already?
He's back this week. This
Okay,
was
so
6 games
so I will
played.
be very interested to see what that offense looks like with Worthy back, with Rice back, with Juju in the fold. You have Kareem Hunt who's doing decent.
Hollywood Brown's there. Pacheco's
Hollywood
still there.
Brown. Yep, Pacheco is he getting
He,
healthy,
no,
I
he's
think?
playing, but
He
like
is. Okay.
I have in my fantasy league games actually annoying because
Gotcha.
he's getting
Hmm.
touches, but he's getting few touches, and
Yeah.
he's one of the guys like 8 touches, and he's getting 5 yards for a touch. I'm like, then give
Yeah.
him the ball more.
Yeah. And I mean, Kelsey is not like you're saying, not Kelsey of old, but he's starting to emerge a bit. I mean, he had like 70 yards this past week. So, the Chiefs may have had some people fooled there for a couple of weeks. And, as hard as their schedule may be, we'll see.
Well, I know if you're in the NFC North, yeah, if you're not the Lions, you're happy about this week because, or at least Chelsea's happy because not her adopted team, but her team that she's put a lot of chips in, just had a very good upset victory. I'm surprised, honestly, the Bears were able to beat Washington. But I have to give credit to the Bears. They did a good job.
Yeah, no, the Bears, they look great. I mean, this is their revenge game from last year. I believe it was it Brisker who blew the final
Oh
throw at
yeah,
the
the
end of the
Hail Mary.
game. Yep, and it worked out and they won. They had a backup kicker in this week who managed to get them the win because their kicker got ruled out 90 minutes to kickoff. Everyone likes to hate on the Bears because the Bears have been poverty for like 15 years, but look at what Ben Johnson's doing. Look at what Aaron Glenn is doing. This should kind of give you an indication of who's having more success because both franchises have been poverty for like the last 2 decades. So, I have confidence in the Bears. I don't think they'll win their division. But like I said, I think they could sneak in as a 6 or a 7. I'm excited to see them keep playing.
No, that's I will believe it when I see it. I do not. I still
That's fair.
I still maybe it's just a hate on me. I want to see the Bears be well. I want to see Caleb do well. I want to see Ben Johnson do well. But I'm sorry. I keep going back to like this is the Bears team. They're in the hardest division in football, in my opinion. Because I still think the Vikings are a better team than them. They proved it in week one, and I still think the Lions pretty much beat them down like crazy, and the Green Bay is always going to be there. So I think the
Yeah.
Bears, I still think they're a year away, but I'm happy what I'm seeing right now. But we will learn more about that in this next week. And because that was the recap, now to look ahead to week 7. And we got 2 games on the docket this week that we really want to look at and talk about. And I'll start with my 2 games. The first one, Tampa and Detroit. This is going to be a fun. To me, this is going to be a
Fist fight.
this is good because Detroit's coming off a loss. Tampa, I'm not sure if Mike Evans is coming back this week. I'm not sure. I don't think Bucky Evans is coming back, but I think Mike Evans is more like GTD game time decision. I don't even know who's playing in terms of Tampa in terms of how much they lost. They lost in receiving core, and to me it doesn't matter because Baker's just Baker, and the Lions defense have been giving up crazy points to just any elite team or solid team right now. At the same time, Detroit's coming off a week where they got manhandled by KC. Branch is suspended for a game, but and you may be hosting the best offense in football. So, or you may have the best offense in football, honestly, because I think them and the Buccaneers have an argument for the two. So, that'd be an interesting game to watch. And my second game would be maybe Madison never left because my second game is the Giants and Broncos. And that's kind of want to see, like, I do want to see how much Dart progresses. He's going against a better defense, even though you've talked about the Broncos may not, they don't look like the Broncos of last year. This is probably still a top defense for a rookie quarterback to go against. And like you said, I don't think Bo Nix, and again, I had a lot of chips in Bo Nix's basket,
Me too.
and he hasn't really looked that well this year. I'm starting to get a little worried. And not that they are going to like tank or something, or like go down. But
They finally have a run game too,
if they
and
need
he
to,
still looks bad.
yeah, if he can't step up, then I can't see him making that second jump to being with the Chargers and Chiefs at the top of the division. So, do you have anything for I said Bucks and Lions and Giants and Broncos?
No, just excited to see Scatabo run through someone again. Always look forward to that. And Bucks Lions is going to be a shootout, even if you have Tez Walker and, you know,
Me.
nobody's on offense. It doesn't matter. Baker's going to Baker.
Yeah.
Um,
Baker's
my
going
two
big.
games, yep. I have Colts at Chargers. I'm going to sound biased, but I think the Chargers are a good team. I don't think they're as good as people thought initially, but I don't think they're a slouch by any means. And it's at LA. And we've already lost in LA once this year due to our own terrible decisions. Um, so I'm excited to see us play. I think the Chargers have a decent defense, so I'm looking forward to that. I'd love to be 6-1. That'd make me feel real good. So if they could keep winning, that'd be great. And I'm going to go with the hometown team, Panthers Jets. Not only should this game be winnable because it's the Jets, but also the Panthers are getting Chuba Hubbard back this week, which I'm going to be very interested to see the breakdown between him and Dowdle. And they're also getting Jalen Coker back. Now, he is a less known name. However, I think he was a third round pick. He looked really good in preseason. He has played a bit. He's been hurt this year with a quad injury, but he looked great in preseason with Bryce. I think he's really going to open the offense up. I think, Tet is the undisputed one still, but I honestly think Coker could slide right in as the two because Leggett has been very disappointing and Renfro has been underwhelming. Um, Him and Jimmy Horn and Tet, I mean, that's your future right there. So I'm excited to see what the offense looks like with the integration of those guys for sure. And then the Jets, I mean, Garrett Wilson is hurt, so he's like their only bright spot on offense outside of Brees Hall, who's kind of been mid this year. So I really don't know what you expect as a Jets fan. If I'm a Jets fan, I probably think I can win this game because I probably think the Panthers are worse than they are. But the Panthers are 500.
Yeah,
People crapped on the Panthers at the beginning of this year. They're like, they're terrible. Bryce is terrible,
that
blah,
was
blah,
me.
blah.
I was doing that.
Yeah, everyone is terrible. And in defense of all those people, I don't think Bryce is a starting caliber quarterback. If he can't get consistent, he's not going to last. He will get replaced. But the offense is good enough to outscore people. I mean, they just beat,
Dallas.
Dallas, who has a prolific offense, even without CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens is the number one receiver in fantasy right now, which is crazy to think about, considering where he came from and what he's doing now. I'm sure that makes you very mad, but that's beside the
What's
point.
a shot at?
I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how the Panthers play. It is not unreasonable to suspect the Panthers could get into a winning record this week. And as I'm friends with many Panthers fans, that is very exciting. And it's just nice to see Panthers fans experience some joy. So if we could see them get above 500, that would be great.
I love Panthers fan must experience joy. Jets, you go 0-7 now.
I don't even think Aaron Glenn is a bad head coach. I think the Jets are just such a terrible franchise. It's going to take years of unlearning all those habits that are bad.
Yeah, so well, it may take years for that. It also will take years to get to episode 200. Chelsea, that was the century mark. That was the big Benjamin. That was 100 episodes of Launch Coach Launch Coach Football. That's episode one of Launch Coach Sports. But you can always
At
just
this point, it may
listen
as
to
well
what
be called Launch Code Sports with as much baseball as we talk. Just wait till basketball season starts. When Halliburton gets healthy, the Pacers would have won the finals last year. No, I'm just kidding. I won't go there, but I actually do believe that. But yeah, no, it's been a great first 100 episodes. Really grateful for the support and the ability to keep doing this and to have, Daniel and his brother join the fold. Here's to the next 100 episodes. Am I right?
you are correct, madame.
All right, check us out next week. We will be back on our standard 2 episode a week schedule. So look out for the next episode on Tuesday. Um, Follow us on our socials. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football. We're also on Discord and we are on Twitter at Launch Codes FB because for some reason it was taken or it was too long. And I just really don't understand that. So yeah, look out for another episode next week. Check out the games this weekend. A lot of good college football games going on too. IU's number 3. Let's go IU. So yeah, lots of exciting football this weekend. So definitely check it out and look forward to 2 new episodes next week. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week. Thanks for the support. Happy 100.
All about the Benjamins. Adios.